しかったね。
Didn't even have to use it.
Yo, Baba been steady, it's me, Chiki, and this is a tier list. I don't know why I'm doing this tier list. Basically, it's a freaky tier list of Zenless characters, of, if they was in a relationship or whatever, how freaky they'd be. You know, bottom, which is, don't engage, which basically means I don't think they would be doing anything. Vanilla means, come on, it's vanilla. It's like they pretty much do like what is seen as normal or expected. Then there's vanilla leaning, which they might get a bit freaky, but they're more so towards, you know, just doing normal shit. Then mixed bag is sometimes they freaky, sometimes they normal. Then freaky tendencies is they're more likely to be freaky than they are to be normal. And then certified freak means they just be freaky. And then the freakiest means they be the, you know, absolute freakiest. Then there's these two tiers down here, which is minor / not taking my chances. I think it's obvious that Tsukaku's a minor. I think it's obvious that Korin's a minor. And then these are the 5 characters I wanted to address before starting on the tier list. Yufufu, I think, can be added in this tier list, because I think she is just a young adult, like probably like 18 to 20 age, just based off of dialogue and how she responds and reacts to people. That's just my personal opinion. So I think it's appropriate to have her in this list and to rank her. Also, I would say Lucy is appropriate to be in this list. You're probably going to ask why, but it's mainly because of Monato, actually, who, based off of his age range, off of dialogue, he is pretty much to be expected to be like 19 or something like that, or maybe 20. And all of the Spook Shack members, like Yuzuha and Alice, are probably around the same age range. So that would make Alice and Yuzuha like probably the same age, or maybe a year younger than Monato, or maybe a year older, depending on what route you're going. And the reason why this relates to Lucy is that Alice went to school with Lucy, and they had to have been in like the same grade or something. I know that's an assumption, and just because you're in the same grade doesn't mean you're the same age, but usually people in the same grade are either the same age as you, a year older than you, or a year younger than you. And yeah, I think that qualifies Lucy as being like 18, maybe. Then there's Piper, who I think is fine. I think it's pretty much just confirmed at this point that she's old as fuck, but I don't know why she looks like that, but like, yeah, she's just old as fuck. Then there's Kaleda and Ellen. Kaleda, I think, is just a young lady because, well, she owns a fucking company, but also, like, it's mentioned several times that she isn't a kid, and I know that kid doesn't mean, just because you're not a kid doesn't mean you're an adult. You can be like a teenager or whatever, but I don't know, just based off the context and whatnot, I think she is of age. And then there's Ellen, who you could argue because of her school skin or whatnot, she's still in school or whatever, but I don't know. Personally, I see Ellen as like 18 to 20 range, kind of similar to like all these other people. Like I can see Ellen talking, like I can see Ellen being the same age as Alice, maybe even same age as Lucy. So like I don't really see that being a problem too much. I would also like to clarify all these characters that I just talked about. I don't really care for it like that. Oh, don't take it out on me. That's not what this list is about. This list is about what I think these characters are like relationship-wise and how freaky they are. So, basically the don't engage is the people who I don't think be fucking or, you know, be like doing much. Which, honestly, I don't think Pan... I don't know, this might be biased, but I don't think the Bears really be doing anything. Like, that's kind of crazy, but I don't think the Bears be doing that shit for real. I don't really have a reason as to why. I just don't think they really will. Yeah, like, I know that's a fucking cop-out, but, like, I don't really see... And then also, like, I don't see Miyabi engaging in that. Actually, nah, never mind, take that back. She might engage in it and say that it's, like, special training or whatnot. Now, I don't see Chingy. Chingy doesn't give me vibes that she'd be attracted to anyone. Like, that's just me personally. Chingy doesn't give me those vibes. And then also, I don't think Grace cares either. I know that's like a crazy thing to say, because like people think she would be freaky, but like I just don't see how Grace would be like involved in any type of relationship, or even would care to have one. And I know, like, it's one line, but Clayton said that she sucks with, like, love and romance or something like that. And I think the reason why she said that is because she doesn't even engage with it. Like, I don't know. Now, you could prove me wrong, but, like, I don't really think so. And, yeah. I don't know. Like, I would want to elaborate, but like on the don't engage ones, I don't really have a reason. Also, actually, I don't think Anton engages either, unless it's with his bro. And don't overthink that. That was a joke. Now, moving on to vanilla, the people who I think would have like normal relations. When I say normal, I don't mean that being freaky is not normal, by the way. I'm just saying normal, like what's expected. Like, you know, like, they kiss people, they hug people, but they ain't gonna, you know, tie you up type shit. So, who the hell here would be pretty vanilla? I think Juyuan would be pretty vanilla. I think that's the cop-out answer, but, like, yeah, same with Seth. Cop-out answer. Why do I think Juyuan and Seth would be vanilla is pretty simple. They just, I don't know, bruh. Like, they just give off the vibes that they just have run-of-the-mill lives. And I know that's kind of like a stupid answer, but like, I just don't really see them doing all that much. Same with Piper. Piper don't really strike me as the type to be doing all that crazy shit. And, this might be surprising, but I don't think Kaleda would either. Kaleda is pretty normal. Okay, like, I don't want to keep saying normal, but, like, she doesn't give off the vibes or the energy. She just is a pretty tame individual. when it comes to things. If I miss a tier or for a character, I'll just come back to it. Vanilla leaning. I think that Caesar is vanilla leaning. I think she just kind of yearns for like regular ass. Okay, I don't want to say like this. This sounds demeaning. I think she just yearns for like the usual type of love. I don't think she really cares too much about like really exploring and doing crazy stuff. However, I think she would on occasion. Um, hmm. This is a crazy tier list now I'm thinking about it. Same thing with Haramasa. I don't really have a reason why. I just think he would be more vanilla than he would be freaky. There's not really much to say about that. Like, I just think he'd be more vanilla than freaky. Like, it's that kind of crazy to say. Same with Soldier. I was thinking about throwing Soldier and not engage, but I think Soldier can. I don't know. She's exactly like Ambi, where like they just kind of different, you know. And I feel like Soldier would just I don't know. She would run with it if presented the opportunity, but I don't think she would do it herself. And because of that, I would say Ambi is mixed bag, because I think Ambi is similar. But the reason why I rank Ambi at mixed bag and Soldier at vanilla is vanilla leaning is because I don't know, like I feel like Ambi just has more of a drive to her to like do different things. So I feel like she'd be more willing to engage with stuff like that. This is such a weird list. Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, this is a really weird list. I would say Ellen is vanilla leaning, and also Alice. Ellen because I don't know, I don't feel like she'd be too interested in stuff like that. I feel like she'd just kind of like, have her fun and then be done, Alice, I feel like she also wouldn't be interested in that. However, if someone introduced it to her, she wouldn't be opposed to it. That's just kind of the vibes I get from Alice. Yeah, that's just the vibes I get from Alice. Now, I would probably say Miyabi is vanilla leaning. The only time she'd do some freaky stuff is if someone convinced her that is some special type of training for her to do. That's like my only headcanon in terms of that. But if it wasn't just special training in Miyabi's own volition, I think she would mainly do vanilla stuff. I think Ishuen would also mainly do vanilla stuff, but I don't know, like her silly side to her, I feel like she would also try some freaky ass shit. I feel like she would be into wax. Is that crazy? I feel like she'd be into like putting wax on your body, or someone putting wax on her body. I just feel like there's something she'd be into, like particularly. I don't know why that came to my mind, but like I just think that's how it would go. I think Banyue would also be right here. I don't really have any reason why. If he is freaky, then it's extremely closeted. I think you would have to bring out that like inner beast. But other than that, I think the beast is rather tame, so like you wouldn't really see it too much. Yeah. Okay, mixed bag. I feel like Nicole is a mixed bag. I just feel like sometimes she'd be freaky, sometimes she'd just be pretty run-of-the-mill. I don't know why. Like, I think that's just a perfect spot for Nicole. Sometimes she get down in that freaky stuff, and sometimes she doesn't. I also feel like Trigger would be here, because she's pretty weird in general if you do like her trust missions. I don't really get a extreme like feeling that she would do like some super freaky stuff, but I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like she would be down for it more times than like some of these other people would be. And actually speaking about that, I think Lighter would be vanilla leaning, surprisingly. I don't really think he'd be that freaky for real. He might be into like some rougher shit, but like that's kind of still vanilla than being like really freaky, at least in my opinion. I think Lucy's a mixed bag. I don't know why, but I feel like she'd be into like some really like, okay, actually I think Lucy would be a dominatrix. That sounds crazy, but like I feel like she would be really domineering in the bedroom or just in a relationship. I don't know why. Maybe it's because she owns a whip. Yes, she owns a whip. It's been said in dialogue. Maybe it's because she's kind of aggressive or whatnot. I don't know. I feel like she would like to just like try to tame someone. I feel like, okay, that sounds so crazy, but like that's kind of what the freaky shit is, though. I feel like she'd be into that for real. I think Okra is a mixed bag. Maybe even vanilla leaning. I don't know. She gets. I think she's a mixed bag. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. And I don't know. She just. I feel like she'd be into like roleplay or some shit. That sounds so strange because like, why the hell would she be into roleplay? But like, I feel like she wouldn't admit that she's into roleplay. Like, I feel like you would have to find that out somehow. But like, I feel like on the down low, I think she'd be into roleplay. I don't know why. I think Evelyn is mixed bag. I don't even think I have to explain this. Like, she has like all those strings and whatnot. I feel like she would tie someone up. I feel like she would tickle people. I feel like she would do lots of different drinking games, but I don't think she'd be super freaky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think she'd be kind of like a tame freaky. Same with Orphe. I think Orphe would be kind of like a tame freaky, not like a super freaky. I don't know what type of like what freaky shit would Orphe be doing. Like, I don't have to give an example for all these people, but like I'm just not thinking, because I'm just like, I think she would, but I'm just really trying to think like what would she be into, like, particularly. I don't think she'd be into it particularly. I just think she's more explorative, if that makes any sense. I feel like she'd be willing to try. And someone who's willing to try and engage with that, I feel like they would either try them all or try most of them. So like, just by default, I feel like it would have to be a mixed bag just to do that. I think Yanagi's a mixed bag too. I think she's kind of more like secretly freaky. But yeah. She also gives me kind of like Lucy vibes, where she would probably be like domineering or whatnot. But only strictly in the bedroom. I don't think she would be like that, like, in a relationship. I think she would kind of either step up to the plate when needed, but also step down when also needed. Like, I think she'd kind of be like a switch. But like, then I think Billy would be ready. I think that's a good spot for Billy. I think Billy would be like into roleplay. Honestly, I think Billy would be into roleplay. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because like he talks about like he's a huge nerd and whatnot. I feel like he would dress up and shit, and then like say some shit like Starlight Barrage when I don't know. I just it does that count as freaky? Maybe. I don't fucking know. Freaky tendencies. I think Ekomata has freaky tendencies. I think she would do some crazy shit. I don't think she'd be a certified freak 7 days a week, but I think she would be freaky most times than not. Yeah. I also think Hugo would be freaky tendencies. I don't think he'd be like straight up freaky, but like he just gives me the vibes, bro. I feel like he put on an act. Like, damn, bro. That's his whole gimmick, bro. You put on a whole ass show for you. I don't know what the show would be, but like, yeah. Also, I think this is where Seed would be if Seed chose to engage in a relationship. That now, I don't think Seed is really like that in nature. That's why I put her in freaky tendencies. Because, like, yeah, she's a little bit weird, but I think she's just weird by, like, a sociable standard. I don't think she's weird by, like, a, you know, relationship standard. But I do think if she was in a relationship, she would be, like, pretty freaky. But, I don't know. She's kind of weird to rank. Also, I think it'd be pretty freaky, like freaky tendencies. There's not really much to explain. I just feel like she would be. Like, she just gives me the vibes. And I know that's crazy, because I've been saying that for a lot of these, but like, she just gives me the vibes, you know? Like, the shit that she concocts, like, food-wise. Actually, yeah, that's what Reno would do. She would, like, be the type to, like, eat during the act or feed someone during the act type shit. Which, I don't know. Do you think that's freaky? It depends on how you do it and how accessibly you do it. But, like, I think that's what Reno would do, personally. I think Astra would be freaky tendencies. Not because she's freaky, I just think she's really willing to do anything. Like, I feel like she would try it, like, there's life to be lived type freaky. But not because she's, like, super freaky and desires this or whatnot. I just think she'd just want to try a lot of different things. I think Astra would try, like, those shits that, like, electrocute you. Not, like, actually, but, like, kind of, like, send, like, little static shit through you. Like, I think she would be into that type of play. I would say Monato's freaky tendencies. And I know that's kind of crazy to say Monato freaky tendencies, but, like, I don't know, bro. I think he would be, like, into some really primal / like, pharaoh type shit. And that's not because he's just a tyrant, but, like, I just feel like he would be into it. Like, I don't know why. I feel like at first he'd be, like, opposed to it. If someone asked him, he'd be like, I don't know. That's kind of embarrassing. But then, like, once he really gets into it, I think he really gets into it. That's why I think he's a freaky tendency type person. This is kind of my hottest take. I think this is definitely my hottest take, but I think Jafufu would be freaky tendencies. I don't know why, I just get that vibe. I think she'd bounce on it and go roar, because, like, I don't know. I think she'd be. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. This is actually probably gonna be the weirdest video that I made ever. Like, definitely the weirdest video that I made ever. Okay, certified freak. Certified freak. Yeah, Ed Hari. Lucia, I think, are certified freaks. I don't know, bro. Like, bro, are you kidding me, bro? Hori literally opened the door, like, butt ass naked, bro. Just fucking smiled and said, "Oh well," and closed the door, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, certified freak. And Lucia, bro, I feel like she'd be one of those people that have, like, you know, those people that have, like, giant Shrek things, like giant Shrek cylinders, giant dragon cylinders. I want to say dildo, but I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. Maybe I can. But yeah, they have those giant ass cylinders, bro. Like, way too big for their own good, bro. I think Lucia would be one of those people. I think Dylan would be pretty freaky. I feel like she'd be like an over the phone type freaky to play into her motifs of like being a phone type character. But not deadass, I feel like she would talk crazy on the phone. She'll like spell out the entire scene for you before it even fucking happens. And yeah. And then also, I think Yuzuha is certified freak. I don't know why. I think she's into like teasing play and like shit like that. Like, I think she could do a lot of different things. That sounds so like I need to finish this video. Okay, and then the freakiest, bro. I think Lycon would be one of the freakiest, bro. In that one quest line, bruh, when he, I said bruh like 10 times, I'm so sorry. But in that one quest line where, he was helping that, girl with the, who wanted to be in Mockingbird. And then he deadass started role-playing, bruh. Like, he started role-playing in that cutscene. And then he also, like, knows how to put on an act and be tough and whatnot. I feel like he'd do some feral ass shit, like some absolute feral ass shit. And then also he'd be able to do like any type of like role play or whatever the fuck you ask of him. God, because if it's for the client, you gotta have the excellent service. Like, I feel like you pretty much just do anything. Jane Doe. It's Jane Doe. We've seen her interrogations, whatnot. We've seen how she licked the apple and took that small ass bite out of it. We've seen how she just stripped in the back of the police car, had her fingers through the grates, by the way, leaning up, breathing all over, I think Toimiya, I think that's her name, and then, like, use her tail to, like, turn off her radio and whatnot. I don't fucking know. I think she'd just do some crazy ass shit. And then there's Bernice, who, I could just cop out and say it's Bernice, but, I don't know. I think she'd be willing to try anything. Like, she'd be the type of person to introduce the freaky shit to someone. Like, hey, let's do this. Or, I saw this on the internet the other day. I want to see if it's cool. And then, like, she just pulls it out of her bag. Like, she doesn't even, like, ask you for it. She just pulls it out of her bag. And she's like, let's try it. I think that's what Bernice would do. And then there's Vivian, who, Vivian... I cannot prove it, but I think she was just straight up... I think she goons to the Faithin people. Or the Faithin siblings, my fault. I think Vivian straight up goons to them. And, like, goons crazy. Like... If it's for Faithin, she'll do anything, bruh. I think she'll do anything. Alright. She had to second guess herself about forcing Faithin to marry her or something like that. Which is crazy, by the way. She already steals their fucking underwear, allegedly. And then, constantly says their name. Like, she's just obsessed, bro. I think she'd do pretty much any freaky ass shit. As long as it's with Faithin. But, yeah, this is my tier list. I know I didn't really yap that much about certain characters and why they're there, but like this is kind of just a tier list based off the vibes. But yeah, if you disagree, you disagree. If you don't, you don't. I don't know. But yeah. Until next time, I guess.